We do take a creative approach here, but one that I think is very sensible. It was clear from the outset that a solution-focused approach was needed by everybody within the team, because there were a lot of potential problems, but we needed together to look at those as opportunities for creative thinking. And to really model that from the outset was crucial for me as a leader. And so looking at the fundamental aspects of the school, which would be the curriculum, for example. Now, linking that to behaviour and attendance and to excitement and inspiration within the school, that was absolutely key. At the time, attendance was very, very poor. Standards were low and children weren't particularly engaged and were quite vocal in expressing this. So looking at the curriculum was absolutely key, and we started by researching what would a Netherfield curriculum look like to our children. And so we identified 3 members of staff who then set up the curriculum innovation team. And for the first month and a half, 2 months, although they were out of class together as a team for half a day, once a week, we actually saw no outcomes from their work. They were out visiting other schools, just looking at and researching what did our children, what did our community need. We did an application to the Mighty Creatives, which is a national programme supporting the creative arts in school, but also creative learning within the school, not just the performing arts. By using this more creative, thematic, skills-based approach to teaching and learning, that we would then engage our children, inspire, and really get them excited about their learning with a view to becoming passionate, lifelong learners.
We are looking at taking risks. We're looking at staff taking risks to provide the extra opportunities for the children. We're looking at getting the children to take risks as well. We have really looked at developing the curriculum to be something that is quite fluid for us.
We look at what their needs are. We then hear what that child, what the family has got to say, and endeavour to create something that truly inspires them. So by supporting the individual child, what we're endeavouring to do is to meet them where they're at, to really identify in terms of their academic abilities where they are, and so then staff can differentiate accordingly for every child in our school, a personalised journey to move those children on to the next steps. So if a child has developmentally, if they have blocks in literacy or numeracy, through our very carefully created tracking system over the last 2 years, we can identify those blocks, and then we can ensure that the children are supported to move through and to gain the skills needed that they will then need to be able to apply later on in their educational career.
And we're looking at as many opportunities to apply those skills across the curriculum as well. So for example, using the mathematics skills through a history lesson or a geography lesson.
Like the children used to come to school and it was, this is what we're going to do, this is how we're going to do it. Now the children have a lot more of a say in how they want to learn. It's outdoors, it's over on the field, it's on trips, it's going round to the pond.
But it's looking at giving the children as many opportunities to apply skills that they are being taught within the confines of the curriculum, and giving them the opportunity to apply those skills and to take risks themselves.
Stepping out of that cage into the unknown and thinking, can we do this? Is it too expensive? Is it, acceptable? And Shama's just sort of unleashed us all so we can do it.
We accept the fact that it might not work, but we can learn by having a go and making a mistake. And by doing that, really we're expressing ourselves as learners as well, and which is what we want the children to do.
What we're trying to communicate across the entire school is a solution-focused approach to barriers that may come up in life. So, for example, in our Path event, one of the children said that they wanted to have a classroom much like the Teletubbies building. In many ways, one may perceive that as impossible, but is it really impossible? Or could we actually use that idea to communicate to our children and community that there are ways that creatively we can go around investigating a seed such as that in such a positive way that perhaps could make it happen? So we thought about it, we approached Nottingham University and we spoke to the lecturers on the architectural course. And We invited the students in their Year 5 studies of a 7-year course to come in and talk to our children, to our staff, to the community about if we did have that kind of classroom that we've now called a learning arc, what might it look like, how would it respond to needs? And the architects were so inspired that they requested that that become their syllabus for their Year 5. And so they went back and studied, and it did become their syllabus. And in our studio, we're now celebrating the work of 10 students who have designed the learning arc, which has incorporated the ideas from the children. And that's just one example of really modelling. If we have a dream, why can't we make it come true? And if we believe in that dream and work together, then we're limited by our own imagination.
We give them such fantastic opportunities to stand on stage and you know, have
be themselves.
Yes, yeah, and it's all right to be yourself.
Our focus kind of diverted sometimes from the children and the well-being of the children, and now that's absolutely the front line for us.
There's something very infectious about Netherfield School.
It's a very special
yeah,
place.
yeah, it is.